We're talking to the one and only Parechay, of course, Canadian Mosiki ke ye fakhar wali baat hai कि he's going all kinds of places. And I'm not just talking about Bollywood, he's doing a lot more. And usi baare mein abhi thodi si baatein karni hai unse aur, so let's get into it. So, Parechay, I've got to ask you this question. You are involved with music on so many levels. I mean, Bollywood's a big chapter of it, but you've also got your own sort of recording artist career going on. You signed on with RDB's label, which is crazy. I mean, Queen of Spades was a great track, came out last year. You've been producing Shweta Subram's Ajuba, brilliant track again, sort of. So, on so many levels, you're all over the place. Which part of it do you enjoy the most?
Oh, great question. All of it. All of it. Because you know when you do too much of something, you want to take a break and do a little bit of this. So I just came back from this whole India tour, 35 shows. Nice. So now I don't want to do a show until Desi Fest.
And we're going to talk about Desi Fest.
I really just want to be in the studio and work on records. So this is the role that I enjoy the most.
Nice.
Whether it's writing, you know, singing. Then when I'm done a lot of that, I want to just produce. I don't want to sing. I just want to sit back and make music. So that's when production game becomes the best part.
Right.
Once all of that's done, you want to jump back on stage. So then the performance part becomes the best. So it's really, each one has its own space.
And it keeps you excited the whole time
Exactly.
around
It's
as well,
not
right?
repetitive. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's just go back a few years to sort of the moment we were talking about before the break when you quit your job, which is a job at Dell, a great job, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go pursue a career in music. Not exactly, you know, the most viable option for most kids, especially when you're Desi.
Yeah.
What was the family's reaction?
My dad told me to quit my job.
Whoa!
My parents have always been super supportive, and the fact that they knew I was putting in a lot of time and work. And sorry, it was actually, I worked for Dell, I worked for Apple, I worked for Infotech, I've worked IT sales, corporate sales, doing $10 million alone a year for a long time. So while I was doing that, I was in the studio, you know, working that 6-hour bracket before I sleep for 5 hours, go back to work.
Right.
My parents noticed, and you know, I couldn't handle both. There's no way to give, because when you give music 50%, music gives you back 50%. Simple as.
Exactly.
So I had to make that call, and my dad was 100% encouraging. You know, he just said, pull the plug, do it now. You're young, you're not married, you know, you don't have any responsibilities. Go for it. And give it 100%, and you can't lose. So,
was there ever a moment where you actually regretted that decision?
Never.
Never.
But I have, you know, every artist goes through ups and downs.
Yes.
And I've had my moments where you just sit back and you go, man, I put in so much time, effort into this, and I should be driving 6 Lamborghinis at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But then you bounce back with one good record, or, you know, people, actually people on whether it's Twitter and Facebook, they're my encouragement. When they're constantly saying, you know, I like your records and I like your music, that's what keeps you going, because Bollywood's great. So now I've got a few Bollywood songs and put you at another level or milestone or whatever. But for independent artists out there that's just doing their own music, they get very frustrating because the market, the scene is really not that big. So you put in all that effort and you just feel like you don't get back enough. So every artist goes through their ups and downs, but you just got to find a way to bounce back. And the real hustlers keep going till the end. It's easy to fall
Absolutely. Off. I'm assuming that now sort of, you know, Bollywood has given you that recognition value or the star value. Do you think that sort of your independent career is going to probably take off alongside it
as
well?
It's true, because as you know, you continue doing Bollywood songs. The only reason why I can tell you personally, I have better songs than songs I've done in Bollywood. No doubt about that. But because Bollywood has those kind of massive financial budgets and you know the channels and the infrastructure, more people are exposed to those songs. So obviously when people now know, okay, Parechay sang Chandani with Sunidhi Chauhan, it puts you at a different level. More people know about you, so then they want to go check out your other stuff. And that's when they get exposed to your other music.
Speaking about sort of that, where the stakes are higher, you know, the big budgets and sort of being part of sort of that level altogether, just take me to that moment where you're standing in studio, and I'm assuming were you in studio with Sunidhi at the same time, or just individual recording?
No, I did not meet Sunidhi during this recording at all.
And that's a wonderful part about sort of, you know, about technology these days. I don't think Sunidhi ever met Enrique when she did the song with him either. So it's miraculous how that works. But when you're in the studio, of course, with the composers of the soundtrack, you know that this is going to go for a big budget Bollywood movie. What is that experience like? What goes on in your head when you're standing in front of that microphone?
I recorded the vocals for Chandani initially in my studio in Toronto, so it was the exact same feeling. It's just that they wanted a certain sound, so I had to change my voice for that song. I sang it differently originally, but they wanted to maintain Jolly Mukherjee's old school style, which is a huge hit, and he's done a fabulous job, no doubt about that. At the same time, give it that fresh touch. So I sang it a few times until finally they said, good. Now, when they said good, by the time, you know, the 17 months in between that time period, we were in Hawaii, just finished the show, and they wanted the second and third verses done right away. Whoa. So that was recorded on a USB microphone in my hotel room in Hawaii. So I wouldn't even get into it, man. And then sent back to them, back and forth, and got approved. Then, like I was telling you during the break, they wanted 3 words in the song. So next time you listen to the song, listen out for "Gone Man." They wanted those 3 parts recorded because Tushar had actually sunk it during the shooting of the video. So we're in Dubai chilling at a buddy's house. I recorded that on a laptop, sent it back to them, and I don't know where Sunidhi recorded her parts, but it just managed, you know, produce half the track on a laptop on the plane ride or whatever. So it just came together in different parts of the world, and that's the good thing about technology, right?
That definitely is the good part.
But there was something about the old school times when people, Muhammad Rafi and Lata Mangeshkar, would go into the studio, sing the song one time with 300 musicians playing. There was something beautiful about that too. So
I mean, and I'm sure you get that experience when you perform live, right?
Absolutely. That's where we get to enjoy that.
Exactly. Now, what I want to sort of talk about now is that now that sort of you're doing pretty much music 24/7, 365 days a year. Right. What is your sort of regimen like? Is there any sort of vocal sort of work that you have to do on a daily basis, or is it just something that you're just damn lucky to have a great voice and you just wake up with it?
No, trust me, there's a lot of work that goes into it. Again, I just wish I had someone who did all my production. I wish someone who did all of my other stuff, and I just showed up to the studio and just sang.
Yeah.
But when you're producing a record, like my next album that I'm working on right now, it's pretty much my production, writing, singing, putting everything together. It's a lot of work, man. And in the middle of that, you have to find time to practice your vocals.
Right.
The second you take it for granted, because then again, you're putting yourself at risk. Any moment, it could just let loose. It's an instrument you really can't feel. You have no control over it. So you have to keep training, unless you resort to lip syncing, which I don't do. So
no, and I don't think you can go as far as you've gone with just lip syncing. I think that even
that works in today's world.
It's a different package, and it's got a shelf life. And I definitely see you going a lot further.
Hopefully.
Speaking of this future, where do you see Canadian Desi music going in the next 5 years? Because you've clearly opened the gates, kind of like Punjabi MC did for a lot of people aspiring to get into hip hop. Where do you see sort of?
I think we have more talent than the UK, hands down, no doubt about that. It's just we don't have the infrastructure. We don't have the numbers. We don't have as many brown people in Canada to support a movement.
Right.
They love artists. They, each one of them will support it, but it's a numbers game, really. So in terms of talent, we've got it. In terms of infrastructure, things like Desi Fest and some of the other major festivals are a huge platform for this talent to come out. I've been speaking with Satish Satsby from Desi Fest. Personally, I want to get involved with all local talent without any kind of financial commitment from their side, only because I want to, I don't want to say give back, but I want to get involved to see what the next generation is. Bring them into the studio, and if they actually have talent, and more importantly, drive, then I'm willing to work with them for nothing.
And I think that building the infrastructure kind of helps everyone.
Absolutely.
The industry lifts itself, right?
Everybody has to work together, hand in hand, without trying to cut each other down in order for the scene to flourish.
Now, you mentioned Desi Fest. Now, you're returning to the Desi Fest stage as well. I believe you performed there before as well. How does that feel, going back to a stage which you've done earlier on in your career?
Absolutely. Like I would always say, chai at home tastes the best. I don't care which hotel you've had chai at, but chai at home is always the best. So coming back to Toronto after the India tour and the UK tour and whatever, it's the best. It's gonna be great. I just know what the people out there, their energy, what they like, and it's my connection with them. You know what I mean?
From the first time you performed the Desi Fest to the one you're going to be performing on the 26th of May at Dundas Square, what do you think you've learned that has probably improved your ability to perform like the star that you are today?
I was lucky. I remember Sonu Nigam's dad said this to me when I was 12 years old. He watched the tape of the show I did called Teenage Wonders, or 12 or 13.
Okay.
And he goes, "Beta, tumhe stage fright nahi hai. Bilkul, tum bahut tarakki karoge." Nice. So when he said that, I thought about it, because that was one thing I feel like I'm blessed, is I don't have stage fright. So the whole first year at Desi Fest and what I'm doing now, I think it's pretty much very, very similar. I've just gotten a better understanding of how to move the crowd.
Right.
Most importantly, I've got the content now. I feel like I have the songs that people recognize. I have the songs that are awesome for an outdoor performance and things like that. So you just grow and keep learning little things. I've still got a lot more to learn, man.
And I mean, feel like, I know we're such huge fans of your music right now. As you learn more, we'll probably learn to love you even more.
Yeah,
so,
that's what it, hopefully.
Speaking of, what's coming up next, what are you working on at this point?
What's coming up next? Again, more Bollywood stuff in the pipe. My albums will always continue to flow, whether Bollywood happens or not. So I'm working on that. The next one's called A Ladies Man. Hopefully that's out, and that's going to be out on my label, which is Intro Entertainment, Intro Records.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the immediate future for my music, and then a lot more stuff. I can just go on and on.
Can I sort of like coax you to sort of leak some stuff in terms of what you're working on independently, and sort of what you're working on in Bollywood?
Yes, I will be. Oh well, I can't talk about song names, but I will be performing my next video single at Desi Fest. And I'm not going to say what it's called or announce nothing about it. You're just going to see it.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. On the 26th of May. So, what's your performance time? Are you allowed to talk about that?
I'm not sure, but it should be towards the evening.
Towards the evening?
Yeah. Late evenings.
26 ki sham, May 26 ki sham. Jaake dekhega. Definitely, Parechay is going to be phenomenal. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to do something which you definitely can't leave here. Like, we're going to lock the door if you don't do it. Can you hum us a line or two of whatever song you want to sing at this point?
I'll do we talked about Yamla Pagla, so I'll do
Let's do it.
All right. मैं जट्टी यमला पगला दीवाना हो रब्बा इतनी सी बात न जाना के ओ मैनू प्यार कर दी है साडे उत्ते वो मर दी है. That's it.
And Khawateen, now you know what the voice of a star sounds like. Parechay, thank you so much for having having us. I'm telling you, I feel as if like I'm on your show. You're clearly the star here, man. No, it's definitely been an honor, and I look forward to sort of seeing you perform on the 26th of May. We'll definitely be there, and of course, I'm जानता हूँ कि आप लोग भी वहाँ definitely होने वाले हैं. So definitely an exciting time at Desi Fest. We're looking forward to that performance and looking forward to seeing some great music coming from you again.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to myself. So make sure you're there. May 26th, Young and Dundas.
If people want to get in touch with you, you want to give them some Twitter info, some websites and whatnot?
Absolutely. ParechayOnline.com. Hit me up on Twitter. It's twitter.com/ParechayOnline, facebook.com/ParechayOnline, or go to n-tro.com and you might just see my BBM there, or I don't know, whatever. But I am accessible. Hit me up whether you like my music or if you're a Toronto artist and want to do music. Let's get it in.
अब contact information की बात करिए तो हमारी भी ले ही लीजिए भाई. info@tv1canada.com is our email address. हमारा phone number है 416-703-2182. phone कर लीजिए, बता दीजिए. What did you think about the episode? What do you want to sort of see Parechay perform on the stage? If I get a hold of him before the performance, I'll be like, यार please लोग बहुत request करे, गा लीजिए. You can also of course catch us on Facebook, facebook.com/MastOne Show. ये हमारा website भी देख लीजिए, www.tv1canada.com. And until next time, भाई अपना ख्याल रखिएगा. Parechay, one more time, thank you so much.
Thank you, man. It was a pleasure.
And of course, हमारी मुलाकात जल्द होने वाली है, तो अपना ख्याल रखिएगा. Until then.
Yeah, this your boy Parechay, and I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I'ma tell you about this one time I seen this shorty, and I couldn't even talk to her, and so I sang to her a little something like Habibi, oh कसम से मेरी जिंदगी भी तुमसे प्यार कर
fires and alarms, girl, you smoking, baby.
I told her right from the jump off, I will never make her my jump off. Take that red dress and then pumps off. Let's make love like we just made up. I made mistakes, but this ain't easy, believe me. I'm known to be a hard like Tiger Woods be. You won't know what happened. 1 minute screaming, next you napping. I'm a beast, ain't no reason to come up soft. I play nice till the thongs come off.
So jump on it and wine for it, ooh my baby.
Yo, let's switch it up a bit. Come on, yeah, drop it. Yeah, yeah.